Hello and welcome to Off the Page. No, wait, past the remote. You know what? You know what turned me
Wow.
off? You know
You
you
did
know
it.
what turned me off? I heard my echo in your thing.
What do you mean echo?
I
I
heard
had no.
myself. I heard myself in your. I can hear myself a little bit. That's what turned me off.
I'll just turn the headset volume down now.
Yeah, that turned me off. I was like, whoa. We're keeping this in there though. But welcome to Past the Remote, the TV show podcast here on CBC. I'm Joe. Over there across the internet is Mitch. You can find us on Twitter at HalftimeJoe and Mitch692, and of course follow everything Comic Book Cast by just Googling Comic Book Cast, because you'll find the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, SoundCloud, here on Twitch again, even though I don't know. Technically, I guess if you're listening on YouTube, and you find the YouTube as well if you're listening on Twitch. But yes, we are going to be talking a whole lot of TV show news. We do this every week, so just you expect every Monday usually for us to talk TV. And sometimes we are going to have the little mess ups just because we do so many of these shows, and it's like, man, they all just kind of blend together at some point. But with that, we are going to get
Before
go ahead.
actually,
Go ahead.
before
Go ahead. My bad.
I just want to say, just because I actually forgot myself to remind you, if you don't have time to listen to the full thing, you only care about certain things. Timestamps will always be in the description.
Yes, yes.
So if you want to
should
know
always
one
remind me of
thing,
that.
there's always timestamps in the description.
Like if you just click the show more button, you'll literally see the topics and where they at in the video. So if you just want to listen to us talk Cloak and Dagger, you can go there. If you just want to listen to us talk about the Runaways or Star Wars, whatever it may be, just it's right there. So literally just click the show more in the description. You'll see it. There you go. We're trying to be more proactive about that so everybody knows that you don't have to watch the full hour-long video. You can watch the 10 to 15 minutes of whatever topic we're talking about. So, all right. With that, we are going to get into the first piece of news, which is talking about Diane Guerrero. You say it like that, Mitch. As
Oh, is that how you say it?
Guerrero.
Oh, I'm glad you're doing this then.
Cast as Crazy Jane in Doom Patrol. Now, this is a chick from Supergirl, right? Yeah.
I don't know her from Supergirl. I know her from the little snack from Orange is the New Black. That's where I know her from.
Is it? It looks exactly like the girl from Supergirl, to be honest.
Also, you forgot to switch the screen.
Tomato.
Yeah.
So
Say she's one of the girls that works in the kitchen, one of the sisters.
Let me see. Yeah, I remember that. But she also looks like the girl from Supergirl, to be honest.
I mean, she could be on Supergirl. I have no idea.
Let's look it up. Because, yeah, I remember. I was always wondering why she wasn't more in other... Like, you never really saw her get cast for a lot of different things, especially in our, world. But you thought so, because she did good in that one. Let's see. No, she's in Jane the Virgin. That's where she's from.
Yep.
She looks exactly like the girl from Supergirl, who was the love interest of the sister, Alex. So, I mean, maybe that's just a Mexican thing.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe they have similar names. I'm very curious. I'm actually gonna look it up right now on IMDb. But this is cool.
I mean, I saw her name and I was like, "Isn't that the girl who plays Okoye?" And it's like, "No, it's not." that was my bad. I was like, "Oh, that's Denai Guerrero." Yeah, isn't her name Denai Guerrero?
Probably that's really
Something
close.
And I was like, "What?" But
so it really what's been said is that she's just been cast. They're talking about kind of what her character description is going to be. A woman with 64 different personalities, each of which manifests a different superpower. One of the Doom Patrol's most powerful members. I mean, yeah, but
she's split in Legion.
I'm sure M. Night Shyamalan got split from Legion.
I mean, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm just joking.
It's fine. Like, we knew they're gonna have their own TV show. They're gonna be on Titans. The crazy thing is, I thought all the Doom Patrol members were gonna be in Titans, and if I'm assuming that she was already cast for it, and they did the part and whatever. We're just barely.
I mean, it's the same with everything. Like, just because we found out they've been cast doesn't mean they've only just been cast.
Yeah, that's what I've always said. Yeah, so I'm just assuming.
But then again, it is a TV thing, and TV had different schedules. Maybe they haven't got to the Doom Patrol episode yet to film it. We don't know.
I thought they finished filming. I swear that they said somewhere they finished filming.
Well, I mean, they might have done, but I don't know.
Here, I'm about to look up.
I think if they'd finished filming, we would have known about this before.
Yeah. Oh no. So the girl from Supergirl, who was the girlfriend of the sisters, I don't even know.
Florina Lima.
Floriana. It's how you
That's
say
it.
it.
Yeah, Floriana. Yeah.
Floriana.
Yeah.
Lima.
I just saw Lima. I was like Florina Lima. But yeah.
Lima. But I swear I thought something about that she was gonna be back, or I don't know where that came from, but yeah. So they look very similar in like just how they look. So I was like, it looked exactly. And I don't know. I guess I didn't watch Supergirl in the season, so I just assumed. But I think that's cool for the chick off
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. I mean, I fan of her. I think at the crushing her out of all the other Mexican girls that were on there. I think every guy did on Twitter. I saw at least every Hispanic guy I saw on Twitter. But she also did Jane the Virgin, which was cool. I'd never heard of the show Superior Donuts.
Superior what? Donuts?
Yeah.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, that was a show she was on. I guess it was like a 2-season thing, or maybe 1-season thing, and a couple episodes just second season. But cool. Doom Patrol. We don't know exactly when it's coming out. Titans, we barely know when it's coming out. We assume somewhere between like September, October. We just assume.
When's the beta going live?
See, I'm telling you, I don't even think there was an exact date. I think they just said fall, right?
No. Yeah. Well, fall's a long time.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't exactly know, but it's cool. This is.
I mean, you would have thought it'll be a launch thing, but.
Hope she kills it, man. Hope she kills it. If she's on Jane the Virgin and Orange is the New Black, she has, hopefully she's able to show off like some skills she has. You know what I'm saying? Because this is gonna take like this character is not easy to play, I would assume. So,
I was gonna say no. If you got how many personalities was
64?
it? 64 different characters. It's
gotta make literally.
You must have some kind of acting jobs. But even though that's kind of like become a trend. It's not really a trend, you had like not Orange is the New Black. You had Orphan Black, where you had one actress play 1,000 different versions of herself.
Yeah.
But many that was different people. But then you had Split, and now Crazy Jane's probably a lot older than all of that. But it's like just another.
I mean, yeah. I remember there was one movie I think with not James McAvoy. Who's the other one? Dane DeHaan, the guy from Chronicle. I think there was a movie about like him and like a twin, but it was really him the whole time. I don't know. And then
wasn't it? Was that the hospital one? That Weird Island movie?
Not that one. That was a different one. That was the sucky one here. The one, the one where he's like the twin or whatever. That might have been him the whole time. That one I hear was good.
I can't.
I don't know. I just assumed based off the synopsis. But now moving on to a galaxy far, far away, we are going to be talking about Disney trying to buy back the Star Wars TV rights. Mitch, what is this about? Tell me a little bit more. What is
when they brought Lucasfilm in the way back when, they sold off. I can't remember who they sold the TV rights off to. I can't, because whoever's got them is currently still airing them, and it's quite a big thing for them. Who actually got them? Turner Broadcasting. That's Time Warner Company, or a Warner Media Company. It's now gone under AT&T. So yeah, they. From what I've heard, they like religiously show off the original movies on the TV.
Yeah.
And of course, Disney wants to have Disney Direct.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Star Wars is obviously a key part of that. And without the TV rights, they can't show it legally.
Yeah, because didn't they already hire, what's his name? Guy who plays Happy. I'm forgetting.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau.
No, they can make Star Wars TV shows.
Yeah.
This is the rights to show the originals on TV.
Oh, okay.
Which they can't do.
Yeah, I mean...
And of course, they sold it off before they even thought of the idea of a streaming service. So it's kind of a bit of buyer's remorse in the long run. At the time they got a ton of money from it, I imagine. So
yeah, but listen, like me and you, we're almost low key done talking about Star Wars. So like little pieces of news like that we're gonna talk about, but like we're
I mean, I'll still talk about it. It's just not going to
yeah
be in the headline.
yeah like but also not even just that in terms of the headlines, just that we're just waiting till they make like an actual good other than Skywalker film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
So
mean, I enjoyed Solo. It's fine, but I
oh,
wouldn't
that's why
like.
I haven't seen that one, so I can't speak on it. Um,
Mm.
but hopefully soon. I just in the next couple of months it should be, and I think probably next month actually it should be on Redbox or home video, so I should be able to rent it. I love that now it's like 3 months to
Yeah,
complete.
it's so nice having a quick turnaround. Back
Yeah,
in the 90s, it was like wait a year. This is like I want to watch it
dude,
now.
I remember that. I remember the lowest I thought it would ever go would be half a year. You have to wait 6 months, and now
I
it's
mean,
three
you wait
months.
now. Like if we don't get the home theater release,
It'll just
like
get smaller. The
the
theater.
simul release, it'll be leave cinema straight into home release.
Yeah, do you think like right after? So usually some films leave what like 6, 7 weeks, right? Like the big
Something
films.
like that.
Some films
Yeah.
leave earlier, of course, because if they're not making any more money, there's no point in it.
So I
But
mean, unless you're a Black Panther, you're kind of fucked with the home release because that thing's still going.
yeah, so it's like one of
Like,
those things. Once they leave actual cinema, so like what's a movie? It's a movie. Let's just Christopher Robin, right? Let's say it's leaves cinema in 5 weeks. As soon as it leaves cinema, like the next day, you can Redbox, home video, you digital.
maybe not the next day. Depends when it leaves.
Okay, maybe the next week.
I do it the Friday
Okay,
just
so
because like
yeah.
we can watch like kids at home and all
So,
that
but
stuff.
maybe a week. Maybe they need a week to figure stuff
Maybe
out or whatever, to ship stuff out. But something like that, I would 100% be down for it because there's some movies that I don't necessarily need to see in the theaters, and that I kind of just want to be at home and not spend that much money, like $5 for it. Like I could spend $5 for it.
yeah.
But if I go to
This
the
is
movies, it's like $13 if it's after 6, and you of course you want like a little snack, so it's like that's another $10. It's like just.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, of course, now you might have to pay for straws because they're going strawless.
That's so weird. That's a conversation for like the post show.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
But yeah, I mean, Disney's just trying to do their Disney thing, get the TV rights for the films back, and see what happens. I don't know if Warner Brothers Media is gonna, be
I was gonna say
easy
that's
on it.
like what like do you think they're gonna be able to buy it back?
I'm sure.
Because it's something that they need.
I'm sure Disney will be able to put up a hefty price. Like, I mean, might as well. Like, we're not getting much out of it. We want to put more of our DC stuff or like Lord of the Rings stuff.
I mean,
out
they're
there.
getting a ton out of it because they show it religiously, so people
Yeah,
obviously watch.
yeah. I mean, I don't. It's one of those things where also I don't know if I want to watch the old films. Again.
Well, it's one of those things because buying Fox, they get the original cuts,
Yeah.
like all the unedited and all that stupid special edition stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd want that. That'd be a massive selling point for a streaming service. But you can't do that without these TV rights. So we'll see if they get it or not. I don't imagine it's going to be cheap if they do. But that's if AT&T let it go. But then again, they might have to do it, like sell the rights back, if the government fucks up the whole AT&T Time Warner thing, despite it you already been going through. So it's going to be interesting to watch and see how it pans out. But yeah,
Yeah. So all right. I think we are done talking about Star Wars right now, and we should run away to other news. New details emerge from Marvel's Runaways. This is, of course, from Nerdist right now, and apparently they learned 7 things about Marvel's Runaways Season 2 that we can kind of assume, but also don't know too much about, so we're going to get into it right now. Here are the 7 things. If you want to go along with me, do just go like 1, 1, 1, 1.
yeah.
All right. Apparently, the kids are alright. It's gonna actually like they're not just like we're running away. Like it's gonna deal with, I'd assume, them having to go through that and the cops being on them and like not knowing their parents trust them, and that's kind of cool to see. And you would assume it'd be like that on this freeform show, because Cloak and Dagger is doing so well and stuff like that. I think maybe they did it because I can't. I feel like they did it in season 1 of Runaways, but they didn't execute it as well as like a Cloak and Dagger.
What?
Just kind of like the impact.
I mean, like the impact for them never really came until the end.
I guess so.
Like they were too busy trying to figure out what exactly is going
Yeah,
on, and then the season finale was everything really kind of coming to a head,
yeah,
and it's like, oh shit, we now have to run away. But
yeah. So the premiere immediately picks up 24 hours later. Excitement and adrenaline will start to wear off, and reality of the situation will kick in, and it'll be like, "We're homeless. We don't know where to live." Stuff like that. They're learning to adult this year, pretty much. They're forced to be on their own and have to feed themselves. They're runaways. You'll see them learning. So yeah, they're gonna use their powers probably to be able to kind of live. Right? And that's not a bad thing. You should
no,
use your things to be able to live life. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so I 100% get it, and I'm very interested. I think season 2 is going to be a whole lot more interesting than season 1, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's gonna ramp. Well, they said it's gonna ramp up a bit more. And I
Yeah,
think that's what. If there's a downside to season one, it was very slow. But then again, it had a lot to do personally, so I'm not going to really fault it for being slow. But speaking of trying to live, you
yeah,
can't live without a home,
yeah.
and that's the one thing they're going to have to find in this season, which kind of dovetails nicely into talking about Cloak and Dagger, because they find the cave, or they find a cave in the original run, and that's when Cloak and Dagger show up.
That'd be nice. Like, what if they just somehow find a cave and Cloak and Daggers there? You think
I
it's
mean,
this
yeah.
season? You think it's this season? That's
I don't know. The way they're talking about it, no.
at the
But
cave in New Orleans?
they could just be like sandbagging and holding information back. I don't know. But
Look, it could just be Iron Fisty, right? Where it's in that 8th episode or whatever.
I
Like at
mean,
the
yeah,
very
could be,
end.
yeah.
And it could be. It doesn't even have to be the whole episode. It could just be kind of. But at the same time,
I mean,
when do they
if
take
you're gonna
place? Is it
if you're
after?
if you're gonna do a crossover, I think you need to at least do 2 episodes, one for each show.
You see the way CW does it, right? I kind of like the way they do it because it's at the same time. They don't have to stop production and all that. And we talked about it before. Of like, it just makes more sense to do it like that, where each have an episode for each
Yeah.
show. That's
It also just
crossover.
makes it feel a bit more comic booky because
Yeah,
crossovers never happen in just one series. It's always in 2 series.
yeah.
So why not just do it that way?
So
You could end the
see,
Runaway season two off as the start of a crossover, then Cloak and Dagger season two starts off with the end of it.
they make their way into a church in Tyrone, is there or what? Oops,
I
sorry.
mean, maybe that depends how far away they've run.
Yeah, but it's also how far the show is compared to Cloak and Dagger in terms of like. So when
Yeah,
they run away,
timeline.
is it the
Yeah,
end of Cloak and Dagger season 1?
yeah.
I hope so because I want Cloak and Dagger to already be, kind of where they are at the end of season 1, as opposed to
I mean,
kind of in the middle.
you could say it happens at the same time, or like the Runaway stuff happened towards the end of the Cloak and Dagger season, so that's where
Yeah, because
they
I,
are at that
I,
point.
I think it's also one of those things where if you just kind of like retcon that they met him while the first season was happening,
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't retcon
yeah, it's
that.
so much better and it feel like easier to do it like that's happening at the same time. But when they meet, it's gonna be after season 1 of Cloak and Dagger where they
Yeah.
already did what they did. Just I don't know, it just makes it easier and you don't have to retcon
Well,
anything.
it makes it easy, and you also get the added benefit of you can like just slip in character development there. It's like, oh look, it's been a while
Yeah,
since Cloak and Dagger season one finished. We're meeting up with the Runaways, like say 3 months after that season one finished.
but
So oh, look,
nobody
they
cares about
changed that.
IW.
IW, huh?
Infinity War. They both have apparently the chat says they both happened before Infinity War, but no TV shows don't care about what's happening in Infinity War. Just Shield and
I mean, no, they don't care
yeah,
because they've happened before.
yeah. And
So
it's
like,
also kind of like they're doing
never
their
gonna
own
be.
thing, and I'm
Yeah.
so okay with like not crossing over anymore. Like once I took a step back and completely understood like more of it, it's like I don't really care. I don't really want them to cross over anymore. I just want these two shows to
Yeah.
cross over
Um,
more than anything. These
I
are like
still,
two really good shows.
yeah, I still really like a Cloak and Dagger and Spider-Man crossover just for the sake
I'm
of
sure.
they're always in the comics together. But it's it's kind of hard now with one being in New Orleans and one being in New York, even
Yeah.
though the Spider-Man seems to be going around everywhere, so he could quite easily pop up in New Orleans or
Yeah.
vice versa since he can
Yeah,
teleport.
because one's in L.A. Is Runaways in L.A.? It's in
Runaway.
California.
It's at least in California. I'm not 100% sure where. It's at least in Cali.
I'm gonna assume it's in LA because everything's in LA. One's in
Wait, bro.
LA, one's in New Orleans, and you have the Netflix shows in New York. Of course, you had O'Reilly move on from New York to New Orleans, and they very much teased kind of like that they were in this universe in that end of the season, which we'll talk about
Yeah.
later. But
So isn't that another thing they said? in this
What?
or in this list?
Um.
Because I've heard there's going to be more like little references and connections. I don't know what
Maybe.
there's going to be.
All right. Well,
Uh,
we're gonna kind of speed through the other ones. The parents aren't giving up. That was the other thing they learned. And that's cool to know that the parents are gonna have the good side about them. And the one I was always interested in was the scientist guy, because of course he saw the future
oh what? Oh
of
what's his name?
Doom.
Chase's dad.
Yeah.
Chase. Yeah.
The guy plays Doom, yeah. So that guy saw the future, and I was always curious, like, did the ending of season 1 have something to do with that future, or is it something else? And we talked about it. That could be a season 3 thing or season 4 thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
When they're gonna pick that up, and I very much love when you can do stuff like that, when you can tease very early on, and just every now and then draw some breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I barely remember what the heck happened at the end of season 1. Like, did they kill
They ran away.
So no, but they don't kill the bad guy, right? The angel
No,
or whatever.
Jonas still around.
Okay, because I was trying to remember. No, that's the guy who plays Doom. No, that's the guy who plays Mr. Fantastic. No, I don't know.
No,
yeah.
no. Chase's dad's the guy who played Spike, wasn't it, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, the guy who played
Jonah's the guy who played Doom.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. My bad. For a second there, but yeah. So that's kind of cool that they're still gonna have the parent aspect about it. I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing as season 1, where they have an episode centralized on the kids and another episode centralized on the parents.
If they do, I hope they don't do how season 1's premiere did it, where it's like, oh, it's just the exact same moment in time, but slightly different.
But see, I could totally see that happening for the first 2 episodes. Like, you see it from the kids' perspective of them running away, and then from the parents' perspective of them running away. Like, oh, they just ran away. What?
Yeah, but if they did, they kind of have to lean more into this is what the parents are doing at this point. Not we're going to follow the kids, but just slightly focus on the parents more. Like, just focus completely on the parents.
What's the 4th one?
The 4th one is the story's getting faster. So
cool.
going back to what I was saying earlier about it might be a bit slow. It's picking up the pace. The interesting one's the next point.
Yeah, new characters are coming. They don't really say who, but they're really popular existing characters.
Yeah.
Let the speculation begin. Cloak and Dagger. I don't know.
I mean, I think Cloak and Dagger is probably a given at this point.
Yeah. If you think other people.
I would put money on maybe not Victor. Is it Mancha or Manca? He's the weird one because he's the son of Ultron. So I don't know how they're going to play that if they do it, but they could quite easily play that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, we've made a robot kid to infiltrate our kid's little pact and to bring them in, and then they can play that angle of like he's got to redeem himself. But I don't know. Apart from that, I don't really know who else could appear. But I think Victor's probably the more popular one to bring in. But that's just me assuming they're thinking of Runaways characters. They could bring in anyone.
Yeah.
But I got no idea. But I think the 3 I'd put money on are Cloak and Dagger and Victor. Personally.
Makes sense. And that's like the biggest thing out of this new things, that the new characters that are apparently super popular. And let's just go over the last 2 real quick.
And it's nice that they're expanding the role as well. And you're going to like the next one.
Yeah, that's you, isn't it?
No, I thought I did the character. Oh, no. Yeah, all right. Training montages.
Yeah, I love a good training montage.
Joe does love a good montage.
I've always said that for the longest time. I love a good montage. I think they're just so much fun. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, you get into it. I hope to see montages in most movies, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. But from the sounds of it, it seems like season 1 and season 2 could have really been a season 1.
What do you mean, like that? It's so.
We're doing training montages. That's very much a season 1 thing, not a season 2. So it just seems like they've taken like a full 20-episode season and just split it down the middle.
Yeah, and the difference was between Runaways and Cloak and Dagger season 1 is at the end of season 1's, you feel more confident in Cloak and Dagger's abilities as opposed to the Runaways where they still don't know.
I mean, even though Ty doesn't really feel confident.
Yeah, but to an extent, he could still teleport and stuff like that and actually do stuff. And as opposed to where they're still very much learning in the first season. And you thought like there'd be you're right, there'd be a training montage, especially after the worst moment in season 1 where they're like action and they fight that one thug. Like after you would think after that they would start training more, but they don't really.
Yeah, but they had a lot going on, really, didn't they?
I mean, you could have wrote it in there if you could have
I
figured
mean,
it out.
you could have, but I think like they took the characters over everything else, which I can
I mean,
appreciate.
still, would they take the characters over everything else in Cloak and Dagger? It's like I
Yeah,
just felt
but
like
you
it
don't
could have
see a lot.
worked.
You don't see a lot of powers and stuff in Cloak and Dagger.
Look, they did that one episode in the mind or whatever of the guy who saw the terrors. You know what I'm saying? Who was there at the night the explosion? Like, I don't know if they could did something similar, but they could have maybe focused at least one episode on saying like, yeah, we have these powers.
No, instead of getting episodes, you're possibly getting an entire season of montages.
I don't know if I like that.
10 hours of montages.
That might be too much. You can get it's bad to get too much of something. So
unless it's money.
I mean, even then, more money, more problems. As Biggie would say. Last one, the honeymoon phase is over, and I have no idea what this means. So like,
you don't know, you've never heard the honeymoon period's over.
Oh, so we're talking about actual honeymoon, like relationships. I thought we're talking about something.
No,
else.
it's just a phrase. Like, no one's all happy anymore. Like you've moved past the happy part of everything.
I thought they were talking about like actual relationships and stuff.
No,
like that, but
it's
no,
just it's not a phase. It's just a term.
So the Carolina, that's how you say it, right? And Nico relationship is the emotional core of the show. Well, I mean, that's 100% understandable.
I mean, it's great if you're like padding that stuff out.
Yeah, it's 100% understandable. They're the two best characters in this show.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I think so. What's the girl with the dinosaur?
Gert.
Yeah, she's gotta go.
No, I can't let it go. If anyone's got to go, it's Molly.
Her too. Stand. Even though I represent, Hispanics over here, like if I had to rank them, it'd be like Carolina, Nico, Chase, and what's the dude's name? The no power is having Alex. Which no. I mean,
Chase powers, but
yeah, but like she has technology.
He's super smart, I suppose. I'll give him.
So Gert and Molly, like even. I guess Molly's gonna eventually. Maybe Molly's gonna be better because she has to learn how to use. Maybe they're all gonna be better just because after they learn how to use their powers,
I mean, I would say I possibly agree with that, but if it's picking up 24 hours after season 1,
well, I'm not gonna say the first episode they're gonna be better. I'm just saying in season 2.
It depends how long the season goes. Like,
I assume they eventually. I think they'll get better, but I
mean, they'll get better.
With and Nico are the two best characters, and they're holding up the show, big time.
See, I really like Alex.
I mean, he's fine. I swear I thought he had more to him, like actual powers, but he's just kind of like the leader.
He's a strategist.
Oh yeah, because that's a power.
He's their Captain America, really.
Oh, good for him. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I think season 2 is gonna be a whole lot better than season 1. And I really hope it can match up to Cloak and Dagger scene, like in terms of like. Investment of what they can bring on to me, and just kind of like the overall story. If you compare season 1's Cloak and Dagger is way above ahead, and I hope season 2 can match the same level. So right.
I think they will. If they want to cross them over, I think they're going to bring them closer together, tone and writing wise.
But yep, you hit the bullseye on that one, Mitch.
Well, I was like, where did that? And it's like, oh, I know.
Daredevil season 3 release date and villain confirmed. Apparently, bullseye.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of known it's going to be Bullseye for a while, but that was only a leak. But then again, one of the stunt guys has gone, oh, look, it's Murdoch and Bullseye. It's like, yeah, the dude's playing Bullseye.
I like that. It was a stunt guy who leaked it. Oh, poor stunt guys.
I mean, smart stunt guys, like, thank you.
Nah, poor them. They're probably not going to get another job with them. They leaked it.
You get a job. They won't fire for that.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, the fact that the casting was the same guy from season 1 who everyone said is going to be Bullseye, like, come on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Wasn't he Bullseye? I thought they literally said his name.
They never said his name. He was in it for like a shot. He was the FBI agent with the sniper rifle, like halfway through season 1.
Oh, I thought. Then I guess I imagined something else. What FBI
And
agent?
he had that Ace of Spades card, and that literally just gave it away for everyone.
Yeah, we really knew since season 1, didn't we? Yeah.
And it was just confirmed really when they cast him again.
That's fine.
And it's like, oh,
It's not like it's too much of a spoiler, to be honest.
I mean, it's not.
I
It's
mean,
just nice
maybe it's one of those like twists in the season. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? To be fair, I'm gonna try to forget anyways. I have that power. That's my power. So Secret Cap, I can forget anything.
Ooh. Now the release date of this, it's we know it's 2018.
Yeah,
it's confirmed. I've been saying it for a while. We're gonna get all of them this year, apart from Punisher. That's 2019. Fun fact, in March. People are speculating between November and December. There's a theory going around that I saw on Twitter. I can't remember who said it. So shout out to you. I can't remember who it was, but the story they're adapting is Born Again. Born Again takes place at Christmas or around Christmas in December.
That'd be cool.
So I'm willing to put money on the table that's going to be December.
It only makes sense November because I think they did Iron Fist last year in November, and it's kind of like right as Thanksgiving break is starting, so it's one of those things. But if they want to do that, like if that Born Again's around Christmas and they want to make it feel that aesthetic of like Christmas, sure. I don't see it really. I mean, I wanted
Iron Fist season 1 was the 17th of March.
Oh, the one was what was in December? I mean, November. Was it Jessica Jones or was it Luke Cage? I remember one of them in December. I mean, in November. I keep saying December. I meant November. Which one was in November? I know one of them was in November. I just don't know which one.
Say Daredevil.
Punisher.
Yeah, Punisher. Yeah,
Punisher. That's the one. But
it's like because Daredevil season 2 came out. Was it the same week as BVS? Wasn't it? And then Punisher came out the same weekend as Justice League. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've got a thing doing this apparently.
Well, I mean, those are prime dates, I would say. But I mean, I want it as early as possible. But if it's in December, sure, whatever.
I say they seem to like doing this, like release it around a certain time thing or specific times, like Black Panther, Black History Month. Captain Marvel's going to be Women's Month and International Women's Day. I think in the States or everywhere. Jessica Jones did that same.
February, or is that in March?
No, it's March. 8th of March.
February. SMH.
Jessica Jones was November in 2015. So that's probably
and that was on like Bad Mothers Month.
No, season 1.
Yeah, I'm just.
Bad joke.
No, it's a good joke because her mother sucks, and Armin gets my back on this one.
I mean, Armin's wrong all the time. So you can have your back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I want it sooner, but they want to go for the whole aesthetic of December. Sure.
I was gonna say I'd like it sooner, but I like these like.
I couldn't care less about it. I just kind of want them earlier. But if they want it, I'm not gonna like. I'll probably just forget. Like the month will go by fast, anyways. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I just like the immersion of it. It's like, oh look, it's December, it's snowing.
It's overrated.
Also, like they filmed it in December, so you'll get real New York snow. You won't get the shitty potato flakes.
Probably a hot take. All that stuff's overrated. Like setting out something on a date, overrated.
I mean, I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I don't think anyone's ever cared enough to have a take on that.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, because I want to talk more about Cloak and Dagger. So
I mean, yeah, you can jump into My Hero then. Sure.
All right, done with that. Bullseye's coming. Awesome. Can't wait to see Daredevil Season 3. Love Daredevil. Now onto the shows of the week. My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 17. Yeah, like these last 2 episodes, if I'm being completely honest, it felt like I was watching Naruto, which to me is a good thing. To you might be a bad thing, but it just makes me like love the show even more. And it also,
do you know what? Just to sidestep for a second, I was actually gonna screw the bingo players up and bring Naruto up myself, but you just jumped in there straight away.
Because it felt the most anime-ish, right? Because I watched this episode, even last episode, and it just felt like this is the most typical anime they've ever been, I feel.
Well, I don't know if I could say ever, because it's kind of no different to the sports festival.
I mean, I guess so, right?
It's just a bigger sports festival in theory.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. It's very much like the tuning exams, from what I remember.
Yeah. And it's gonna be one of those things where they pass it, and then because he's one of the like special people in Midoriya, and you remember they always said like that kid he didn't answer a single question, but he made it to the second part, like in Naruto.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's something about it that reminded me a lot about it, but it could just be like every other anime. You know what I'm saying? I just recall Naruto more because I've seen it more and I like that show more. But sticking on this show though, honestly, I don't know what's happening, but I'm starting to really like Bakugo maybe more than Todoroki. Not Midori. Midori's always gonna be my favorite, but I maybe liking Bakugo
I'm
more
just
than
gonna
Todoroki.
Chat, can we? What is it? What did the cool streamers say? Clip it, chat. Clip it, chat. Can we clip that? Where's Alex to clip it? I need that clip.
I just, there's that one moment where they fight that one guy who does a little mushy stuff.
I say, like,
whatever that power is.
I had a weird experience with this episode because I've obviously read past this point.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the entire thing until that moment. I was like, I've been waiting for you. Strange little mushy guy. I don't know how.
There's something about him? Or there's something about him?
I don't remember it. I just remember him, like, just that little fight standing out.
Yeah. And maybe that's going to be, like, a big thing for Bakugo because, Eraser did say, like, there's these two kids in the class. They're probably not the smartest. They're not any class leaders, and they're probably not going to, like, be on TV anytime soon, but they're the special ones. And that's Bakugo and Midoriya.
Yeah. That's probably the best bit of the episode.
Yeah, it really was because it just shows emphasis on, like, these two characters.
It's the show finally putting respect on Bakugo's name.
Yeah, and maybe it's one of those things. I talked about it before, right? Where season one, all Midori. It's always going to be a lot of Midori because he is like the narrator.
I mean, he's the character.
He's 1A, right? Let's just say 1A. While Bakugo, I want to say is 1B, because you're the titular character. He's the narrator. But season one was all about Midori. Season two, a lot more Todoroki. Season three, a lot more Bakugo. And especially when he's fighting the mushy guy, and Bakugo like just starts making fun of him, and they're like, "Don't be saying that to him." Like, dude, I just love that. He's like, "Yo, who the heck do you think you are, man?" I just love Bakugo. Like he takes no shit, dude. He literally will be roasting people too. He's like, "Bro, like I'm just so much better than you. Just stop." Like,
it's because it's facts. He knows it.
Man,
you can't argue with the fact. The fact just
it was so good. I like you said, that was personally the best part in my opinion of when Eraser was talking about just those two characters, and then they had the little side by side ending shot of them. You know what I'm saying?
So it was also nice to have a focus on side characters that we've never really had a focus on.
Yeah, the guy with the tape.
I mean, there was, what's his name? Cero? Was it Cello?
Yeah, the guy with the tape.
I always think it's sellotape, but I think it's Cero.
Yeah.
You have, I can't remember her, it's headphone jack.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let's just call it by that. Let's just call them by their powers.
She had a nice little focus, or she's been there.
Hey, I don't know if they're still going to be talking about the mole or whatever. I'm still hands down calling it being the guy with the multiple limbs. I 100% think he's still the mole. They're still trying to...
I mean, that's the popular prevailing theory, especially considering where his name comes from.
But you also... do they talk about it still? Like, is that a thing like they mention? Like, the mole stuff? Cause,
no, I think they actually properly leave that thread hanging for a while.
I hope they come back to it because it just makes the most sense, because this guy seems like he would be the mole, but he also cares about these people.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It almost reminds me of a Kabuto.
I don't even know actually if they've revealed who the mole was.
Yeah, they haven't.
I haven't heard anything about it. So
that wasn't. Oh, they haven't even in the books. Okay.
No. I mean, like, if they did, I'm pretty sure Tristan would have like just posted about it and be like, "Oh, thanks, Tristan."
But I still think it's that guy. It just makes the most sense, especially with this episode. But it's just when you look over like the entire like 3 seasons so far, and you look back at a Bakugo or a Midoriya, and Eraser's right, like they somehow motivate everybody else.
They're not perfect. Yeah. They're far from it. They probably never will be perfect, but it doesn't matter. They have that passion and that motivation. That's just infectious.
Yeah, one of them is more fiery, and the other one's more like heart, like not heart, but like more.
They're two sides. They're two sides of the same coin.
Exactly, and they're the typical. They're the Naruto Sasuke. They're the Vegeta Goku. They're the this and that. They're those two characters.
They're the Superman Red and the Superman Blue to the Rebirth Superman.
Oh, I was gonna say the Superman and Batman, the Iron Man and Captain America. Like,
see, I was more going like they're two sides of All Might. So
that's true.
Red Blue makes
Yeah,
Superman.
that's true. And because I've always, there was that one point when Bakugo asks All Might, like, what is Deku towards you? And he says nothing, but I wonder if he's ever going to learn. And maybe that's a little bit of why Bakugo eventually wants, of course he wants to surpass Midoriya, but at some point he's going to be like, he's being trained by All Might. Like, I need to be better. Like, why is he so special that I can't be trained
I mean, it's
by
still
All Might?
wild that he doesn't know. No one knows.
Yeah, nobody knows, right? It's wild.
Apart from like certain
no
teachers,
teachers, the
no
teachers.
one knows. Like it's been 3 seasons, how has it not come out yet? But
It's one of those things. I don't know if people will ever know that he got his powers like that because nobody knows All Might got his powers like that, right? Except like the teachers, really.
I don't think so. No, apart from Gran Torino, he knows.
Yeah,
and obviously One for All knows. But...
I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of these like people knowing that Midoriya got the powers passed down and stuff like that.
No idea.
Yeah, so.
Well, I say no idea for your sake, but no idea.
You.
Do they do it? I don't know.
Honestly, though, really, really enjoyed it. Especially like there's that one girl who just was like, you know what, my powers? I'm just super smart. Like,
yeah.
But
also, can someone turn like the girl who does like the calculation stuff?
Yeah.
Can that be the new like calculating GIF?
Yeah, that was great.
If it's literally the same thing, it works. So someone gift that for me, please.
I'm super excited. This episode ended. I just wanted more of it. They keep leaving it off in a cliffhanger. I'm like, I want more.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, and hopefully we get the whole licensing exam this season because there's only like what?
Oh, we will. It'll finish on this.
Thankfully, yeah. I'd hope so. I wouldn't hope they kept it for season 4, but this is great to hear. So yeah. Any last thoughts?
No, just a very good episode.
Yeah,
it's moving along quite nicely.
Yeah, exactly. All right, going on now to the season finale of Cloak and Dagger season 1. This is almost not going to really be a season 1 talk, but it's mostly finale. But kind of just looking around the whole season. You saw.
I say you can jump back and forth between the episodes because this does tie back around to episode 3.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of this episode was that they finally did something with the hoodie. Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, you'll be happy. But then again, I said they'll save that for the end and it'll play a part. It played a part.
I'm surprised he didn't give her the shoe, but I guess the hoodie has more to do with it than the shoe.
I say the shoe doesn't really have much of a meaning.
Yeah.
It's just more there to say like they've each kept a part of each other.
It's more the hoodie than anything, right?
But then again, they could quite easily play into the shoe in next season. It doesn't have to just sit there.
One of my favorite things, of course, Luke Cage did this too. And I'm surprised nobody has said it, and maybe that's because not a lot of people are watching this, but that our heroes are black guys in hoodies. That's one of those things where a lot of people, that's...
A lot of people said that with Luke Cage because it's, of course, very timely to Bulletproof.
But they also literally tell you, like, I'm a black guy in a
hoodie. Yes, season 2 comes out and says it, but like season 1, I was like, oh, it's a Bulletproof black man in a hoodie. Like,
are we past that? And say like right now, like I mean,
I think it's more a case of people have. He's not exactly. Well, I suppose you could say he's bulletproof to an extent, but he hasn't really been wearing a hoodie.
Sure, I guess so.
So like. Also, rip the cape. Like that's a very unfortunate pun, but rip. Yeah. I love that cape. I was kind of sad that got rid of it.
It looked really good, and I was wondering, like, wow, all that just so it can be destroyed.
To be honest, I was honestly thinking that they were ripping it to have the image. So, like, when spoilers, he pulls in Scarface Cup. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah.
When he actually finally does the Dark Force dimension thing and pulls himself. I thought you were gonna have that image of the cloak being ripped and it's all floating there. And you got there's like the arms and everything.
It didn't.
But it wasn't. So
you know what? Like that legit freaked me out for a second. Because I was like, oh yeah, he could do this. I forgot. Like he literally teleported him to just a different dimension.
And they've said that. Obviously, since the episode aired, that's going to play a part next season. Like, what does that do to someone?
Like, if somebody goes in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't die, you just transport it to the Dark Force dimension.
And I'd assume, like, floating space type of thing.
I mean, do you?
I'm
For
just assuming.
budgetary reasons, I imagine so.
Yeah.
It's just like, how does that affect someone's mind? But I think
I,
what were you gonna say, sorry?
No, I was gonna say, did you enjoy the kind of backstory of like the two other divine parents or the other
I
divine
did,
like?
yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah,
I
and it's nice they actually gave a reason to why Tyrone was wearing like the Renaissance clothes in like episode 3 or whatever it
yeah,
was.
I'm very curious as to if the other ones had powers in any way, but they didn't know they did.
And no, because
So,
it's not necessarily like a power thing. It's just there's
so
just
was the difference in that they survived this time around was because they were willing to sacrifice both of them instead of just one? Or
no.
was
The
the other one?
difference was I don't believe they were like.
They were the actual divine parents.
Because if you looked at all the divine pairings, one of them had a band on the arm.
Bro, you didn't see Tandy literally get burned on the right side of
Yes,
her arm?
Joe, let me finish. Right, one of them had the band on the arm.
Yeah.
They both ended up with a band on their arm.
Oh, see, I don't know about Tyrone.
So no, yeah, Tyrone got scratched by one of the terrors.
Oh.
Right, so that was the band on his arm. Tandy then got the burn on her arm. That means they're not. It wasn't really a divine pairing. It's more of a divine trio because someone has to die. Who died this season?
Pancake Cup?
No, O'Reilly.
Oh, so you think she?
O'Reilly was the one that had to die.
I thought it was gonna be just more of a. What's the word I'm looking for? I thought it was gonna be more of a red herring that they're like the divine pairings are true, but they stopped them or something like that.
Yeah, no. Because Cloak and Dagger are one. They're two sides of that one coin. I've said that.
Oh, so it's a divine. Oh, so I mean, in a way, it was a red herring where it wasn't. It is still a divine pairing, but one
it just
person
wasn't
split
two
into
people.
two. Yeah. See, that's cool. I didn't think about that.
At least that's what I gathered from it.
Dude, if that's like legit, and they could come out and say like, yeah, that was the whole point of the story, and kind of make them like one person basically. I think that's so cool.
She died.
Yeah,
she
literally
spoilers,
got shot.
Like spoilers, Mayhem is like a zombie.
Yeah,
she's not technically alive.
Did you like the way they teased her powers and of sorts, and kind of like she's like a glitch type of.
I just like that effect in general.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of scary.
Whedon did it in Age of Ultron for one shot with Scarlet Witch, and I wish he did it more. Yeah. But I just always like the aesthetic of it. It just looks really cool. And
yeah.
Like I don't know if it fits Mayhem as such, but I was the only thing I'd say wrong with Mayhem is that they didn't really change her look. They just gave her like yellowy green eyes.
I'm gonna assume they're gonna change her look for second season, but this was just of a more of like.
Well, here's the thing. Like I don't know how I didn't notice it. The jacket she's wearing is exactly what Mayhem wears.
Like for the whole season.
Well, like the green jacket with the white bands.
Oh, okay.
Like that's kind of what Mayhem wears anyway. It's like, how did I not notice that?
Well,
so
you know what they say, Mitch. If you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Like she didn't die as the Power Ranger, so she became a villain in Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much.
No, it's cool. Like the only thing I had wrong with this episode was it was really predictable. I kind of called everything before it all happened.
Yeah, I think I like the last episode better, probably.
Yeah. Also, I wasn't. It got really cheesy with like, oh, let's hold hands and then shoot into the sky. It's like, okay. Right.
Oh, that part didn't bother me. My favorite part of this would really have to be that at that one point when they're talking, like Tyrone and his father, and it's like, why you? And Tyrone says, why not? Why can't it be me? Why can't I be the one to help save this city? I just love that aspect of heroism of like, why not me? Why can't it be me to help out today? It's something I've always adopted in life in terms of just why not? So
also Tandy killed Breach this episode.
Who? What?
Tandy, she killed people this episode.
Yeah, I was wondering the
same
like
thing. Dead.
I was wondering if you got the same impression of like I assume they're all dead. Yeah. I
mean, just the fact that like those knives stab people. And they never did before. I'm just assuming that they're either really hurt or they're all dead.
So, the funniest part? I don't know if you got the same thing as me when you watched this part, but when she was helping, when the O'Reilly was helping, who's she helping? She was probably helping Tandy with like the sniper at one point, or Tandy and Tyrone. I was like, Punisher? Is that you?
that came out of nowhere. I was like, how the fuck?
Where's she get a
Like,
sniper from?
when did this happen? But
Yeah, she did the sniper like, you go get him, kid. Like, I was expecting
yeah,
her to say
it
that.
very much was like the
Daredevil
go
season
get
2,
red
yeah.
moment. Yeah, it's just like, okay.
I was expecting that. I was like, go
But
get
then
him.
again, it kind of also sets up more of her motivation for next season. Because like, she's not necessarily a villain. They're probably going to play her off like one like Punisher in season 2 of
Well,
Daredevil.
she's gonna want to get justice for Pecky Cup, right? I'm gonna assume
It's,
Fuchs
it's
had some.
justice. It's justice slash revenge.
Well, yeah, that's what I kind of like.
Yeah.
You know, it's the typical villain thing that she becomes when she gets the powers, she's gonna use
more
it for
anti-hero.
revenge. Yeah,
I'd
to me,
say
that's
like
but
this.
I feel like she's gonna go down the route and eventually actually become a villain. Like O'Reilly, you got off the reserve. Like you got to stop. Like no, we must.
I can see that. Yeah.
There must be mayhem, something like that, and then she becomes an actual villain, probably like halfway in or something like that. I'm not gonna. I think you're right. In the first couple of episodes, she's gonna be the anti-hero or something, and she's gonna do the stuff that Cloak and Dagger won't be able to do. You know that type of thing.
I kind of hope they really play it off how Daredevil played it off with Punisher.
Yeah, where he would just be the one. Yeah.
Like have that half a season and like how he ends off at the end or leaves off at the end, and just have that as the entire season and have that as her arc. Where it's like she starts off as kind of she's an antagonist to the main characters. She's not necessarily a villain, but like you kind of understand more, even though we understand her now. But like she kind of just has that maybe slight redemption arc.
Oh, no,
I just want to know if
yeah.
my like divine pairing thing.
Dude,
is what they were thinking.
Dude, we need to tweet at the showrunners because that's just such a good theory. I don't see I hate myself that I didn't think about that, to be honest. Like it kind of makes sense.
I finished the episode and I was like, I've called literally everything. I don't know why I didn't put it together straight away. Because I got to that point, but it's like, I've been saying that O'Reilly dies for the last couple of weeks because she has to die.
Yeah.
But so I don't know why I never put that as she's the divine parent and they're just throwing a red herring and everything.
I think a lot of it has to do with I didn't see Tyrone and Tandy or Cloak and Dagger as the same side of a coin, where they were one person basically split into two. I didn't see it like that. You're much more of a fan of these characters, so you probably have seen it like that via your reads in the comics. And
it's just like it just goes back to that whole what they've been saying. Like, the universe pushes them together and pulls them apart. They're essentially one person. They're not really one person, but like metaphorically speaking, they're one person.
No, I 100% get it.
Like they need each other to live.
That's such a good theory, though, or like not theory. But what do you call it? That's such a theory, right? Why did you say that? Is that a theory?
I don't know if I call it a theory. It's probably more just like an observation.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
It's just what I got.
Hopefully, somebody can add the showrunner and be like, "Hey, is this true?" Like, and I don't know if they talked about it yet. I need to read some articles, but
they've been talking about every episode after it's aired on like the Marvel channel with Nerdist, so they probably will do it for this one.
That's awesome. Shout out to Nerdist. There's some good stuff. I wonder if they're gonna maybe talk about how Evita, could not be affected by Tandy's powers, and you might assume it has to do with a lot of what her grandma did and stuff like that. But maybe they'll go more into depth into it right in the second season. As we always said, like the first one was more grounded, the second one is gonna be more fantastical. I'm fine with that. Also, I just love that the pastor's still there, even though Tyrone tried to clock him. That's such a good guy, man.
He's a good pastor, isn't he?
He's a good guy, man. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. And
also, we haven't actually touched upon it yet. I really like that they flipped the tables on the pair of them.
Now she moves back to the parents.
Tandy now lives at home and he's now the homeless one. It's like, oh.
If there's anything to call out, that would probably be the easiest thing to call out, like that they were going to switch places at the end.
I wouldn't have necessarily. If I was going to say anything like that, I'd just be like, yeah, they're both going to live in that church.
Oh,
I think they're eventually going to live in that church. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just, that's the ultimate run. They live in the church, but
I low-key thought Tandy's mom was going to die, so.
Same.
But yeah, I thought that was. You're right. That is cool. That kind of they flipped it around, and he has to live there now. And she comes to check up on him. And remember the whole thing, like nobody comes to check up on me. Then why should I check up on anybody else? Basically, right?
Yeah.
And now she's checking up on Tyrone.
Just good character development.
Yeah, really great. I think that's the best part of this. The character, like you just are so invested in Tandy and Tyrone. Like it's hard. I did not know I was gonna be this invested. That I just 100% just want to be with them for like the longest I can. Like 5 seasons, man. I want more than 5 seasons, but I know if they go more, I don't want them to like overstay their welcome. You know what I'm saying? And if they,
No, but can they at least like age into the roles and we
yeah,
get like a Dark Cloak and Dagger?
yeah. I don't think you ever got to say, but what was your favorite part?
I don't know. Um, my favorite part of this episode. I don't know. I like the whole switch of the divine pairing thing. Like
Yeah.
if it hadn't have done that, this would have probably been an episode lower down on the list for me. But the fact they kind of subverted things a little bit and it's pushed it up. So I'll say that.
See, anything else to call? I mean, we pretty much talked about everything. I'm looking right now at the at the IMDb for this episode.
But it was really like I liked how they did the divine pairing throughout history explanation. It's
Yeah.
like we've got all these like the doll thing. I've only just really thought about it. Has she always been around?
Oh, the grandma. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it's been passed down.
Yeah, but it's just done the way she's talking about. She never really said anything about it's the knowledge has been passed down. It's just like, oh yeah,
Maybe
like,
she lived through all
gave,
of it. She was there in each of them, right?
it just gave me the impression that because if everyone knew these stories, then that soldier wouldn't be nameless, or the little girl would, all the questions that they had for that thing. I don't know. It just makes me okay. It's the aunt, not the grandma. But...
Yeah, just that she's been around for like all these times that she's been there throughout history and stuff like that. I think something
like that would be an interesting thing to play off.
Yeah,
but I just want it's a plot thread they haven't actually, we don't really know anything about her apart from Voodoo Lady. But
yeah, it's kind of sad that Tyrone got to say goodbye to his dad. He didn't really get to say goodbye to his mom.
He did. He left her the jacket.
I mean that, but like in a real. I mean that's what I took from.
I mean, in a real sense, but it's also.
Dude, I just love that little talk.
He left the jacket, took the picture.
I love the little talk he had as his dad. Is like you just run away and you never look back. Like I was like, bro, like for real, he's literally saying that. Well, that's all you got to do. And
also, did you notice actually? Just thinking about it quickly. Whenever he teleports, he doesn't teleport with the smoke straight away, but he always comes back with it.
No, he does. It's just depending on whose perspective you look at it from. When you're looking at it from other people's perspectives, because when you're looking at it from other people's perspectives, he never has the smoke. But when it's on his perspective, he does. Yeah, it's just I told you. Remember when
I mean, I know we had this conversation about can they see?
What's the cop?
Like, Connor.
Yeah. When he would shoot at him, Tyrone would just like blink away, and it was one of those things I told you that nobody else could see it. You didn't want to believe me, but then eventually.
Yeah, but then to contradict that completely, Connor clearly saw the smoke coming out of the hoodie.
But see, that's maybe something else.
It's the exact same thing because it's all Dark Force energy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's just kind of strange. Like
we need two things answered from the showrunners. Yeah. Can they actually see? Could a Connor see the smoke when he was teleporting? Yeah. If not, why didn't
he must have done because like he kind of like recoiled at it.
Yeah.
It's like no, don't touch me. And it's like no, we're gonna grab you.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much gonna do it for us. Here we've pretty much gone over everything about Cloak and Dagger. We both loved the show. We thought it was a really great season 1. We're excited for season 2. I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about it, especially on the YouTube part. You know what I'm saying? Do you see?
I mean, I don't follow people enough to see if they're doing anything with this.
If any, I feel we're one of the few people who's really trying to push it. And to be fair, we're kind of like pushing this more than we did The Gifted or The Runaways. And I think this...
I will champion this show until the day it stops or I die.
Me too. I never thought I'd be about that. And I don't even know if this makes you want to go read their comics, maybe. But I just really love the show and the way the actors and actresses portray them. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, unless you want to read really old art. But
yeah. So, with that, we are going to sign off for today. For me and Mitch, that'll be all. See you next time.
Toodles!